Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjan-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much for joining our Sunday morning Sanskrit pronunciation class. Welcome, Meera Mataji and Sadhana Mataji. And we are going to do verse number 11 from the 12th chapter, which is devotional service. So this is a very good milestone because chapter 12 has got 20 verses and we have completed half of the chapter. So that's, you can congratulate yourself for that. So starting with the 11th verse from the 12th chapter. Athaitad apye aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. Athaitad apye aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. So before you go and start practicing it, I wanted to just remind you of the rules that we have been going through, and especially about the letter A. And so if the letter A is inside a word, doesn't have any bar on it, then there are two situations where the letter can be placed. It can be inside a word or it can be at the end of a word. For example, if you look on the right-hand side where we have the breakdown, you see this word A is inside it. This is also...
Mataji, sorry to disturb, but we can't see any of the words. We can only see your face.
Yes. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, that's not a good thing to watch. All right, so let's see here. Doesn't allow me to share. Okay, share and tell me. Thank you, Sadhana Mataji, for reminding me of that. Okay, can you see it now? Can somebody confirm?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, good. So Varshana and Aruni have also joined in that order. And so I'm going to add your names also here. Okay, so I was talking about the rules and I was saying the rule for letter A. And so be cognizant of these rules because you're spending time on Sunday morning. So be cognizant of these rules when you are reading any other words also, not just from this 12 or not just on a Sunday morning or Sunday evening. Okay, so these are rules, etch them in your memory. And that way other chapters will also become easy for you to read. So the letter A can be either inside a letter, like here, or it's inside here, or it can be at the end. And in both the cases, doesn't have a bar on it. So when the letter A doesn't have a bar on it, then you don't pronounce it with a heavy accent. You don't put a lot of pressure on it. But nevertheless, it is not Hindi. Yeah, I keep on reminding you and you keep on forgetting it. It is not Hindi, it is Sanskrit. So this will not be karma-phal. This one will not be karma-phal. This will not be karma. Okay? So keep this in mind whenever you are reading Sanskrit, that it's a different language. And so we have to follow the rules of that language. Okay? So there's a slight emphasis on an A when it is at the end of a word. But if it has got a bar on it, then you will always emphasize it, and it is always much more emphasis than the A at the end. So when you're pronouncing, don't be lazy, open your mouth. Open your mouth wide wherever it is required. Like this is ah. So you see how big my mouth is opening? Ah, like that, right? Ah, Shri. And then you see there's an A inside it. So since it's inside it, the least emphasis will be placed on it. So aśritaḥ. So you see, you didn't even see me or hear me pronounce the A. It kind of went in between the T and the H over here. So aśritaḥ. However, when it is at the end and it doesn't have a bar, you won't pronounce it as much as a ah, but it'll be soft. Softer than a A with a bar, but heavier than a A inside a word. So phala, I did not say phal. I'm saying phala. Okay? Also, and I'm repeating this for the 1000th time, there's a difference between how you pronounce when there's a Y at the end and there's a I at the end. They are two different letters, and Prabhupada, in all his wisdom, has used a Y in one place and an I in another place. Can somebody tell me what's the difference between them? Because I have told you this thing many times, and I still don't see that being followed. Anybody wants to venture? What are your thoughts on what it is?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Damat Pranam. Mataji, please repeat the question, because I was just writing down on my concentration was on writing.
Your concentration should be on listening, Bharshana Mataji.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mataji, but then I was writing
Hold on. Don't give me a but, okay? Your concentration should be on listening, because this is recorded. It's a short class, it's recorded. There's 20 minutes worth of it, of which, 10 minutes are repetitions. I just given sketching for 5 minutes. You can go back and listen to the recording and note it down. Because most of the times if you're writing, you will miss what is being told to you, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody else hear the question?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. It's
Okay.
it's C and yeah.
Yes, very good. So you see how nicely Sadhana Mataji pronounced it? This is C and this is Pya. Because there's a Y at the end of it, it's Pya. And this is C. And if it is a E at the end of it, it will become Se. So S-I. So I'm going to write it down here so that you know the difference. C, Se, and Sya. These are three different things. So you have to read with your eyes open. Don't read with your mind. So I keep repeating that. Okay? And so concentrate on that. So Varshana Mataji, can you now pronounce these three for us?
Yes, Mataji. First one is C, second one is Se, and third one is Sya.
Very good. Now you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So that is one thing to remember. Now, in Hindi, those of you who know Hindi, a word never ends in a half letter. Does it ever end in a half letter in Hindi? Varshana Mataji, you are
No.
Never, right?
Mataji.
But in Sanskrit, it does. Okay? Sanskrit words do end with a half letter. Now, since you're also familiar with the Sanskrit script, can you tell me in this particular verse, which is the word which is ending in a half letter? Look at all the words, look at the last letter of all the words, and tell me which one is ending with a half letter. How is a half letter designated? If a letter is half, how is it designated? How is it written? Right? So here, if you look at this word, there's a half letter inside it. This is the ta, the soft T, right? It doesn't have the line in front of it. Like this ta is a full ta, and this ta is a half ta, but it's inside the word, okay? However, if you look at this letter, na, this has got a accent below it, like we call it halan in Hindi, right? So this is actually a half letter. And now you will appreciate the wisdom of Srila Prabhupada. How you see, he's saying sarva-karma-phala. And if you look at over here, the va has got a, in the sarva, the va, this is the va, has got a bar. Look at karma, the ma, this is the ma, has got a line. Phala, look at phala, it has got a line in front of it, right? This T is half. So it is, simple T. He did not put an A in front of it. So this itself is telling you it's a half letter. And right after the T is the ya with a bar in front of it. That's why he has put ya, Y, and A with a bar. Why a bar? Because there are two lines here. You see, ya. The more emphasis has to be given there. So tyāgam, right? So it's the sya, tya, like that, okay? So once you put this in your mind, then you will remember that, right? However, when you come here to the end, this is na with just a bar, with just an accent at the bottom. This is half na. Now, when you look at it, how he is writing it over here, this is an N, but he has not put an A here, although he put it here in sarva-karma-phala. Here, he did not put an A. So you will pronounce it as yatātmavān. Van, not vana, because there is no A here. Okay? So sometimes things can just be a half letter. It can be a full letter. It can be a vowel with an accent on top of it. Okay? So now that you have advanced and done half of the chapter of chapter 12, so now try to polish your recitation and you will get it. You will get it. You will be able to do that. Okay? All right. So breaking it down, athaitad. So this is TH, so tha. There is no dot here under the T, so it's not a hard T. It is tha. It is not tha, right? Or tha, like that. So athaitad, apya, aśakto, si, kartum, mad-yogam, aśritaḥ. Sir, mute yourself if you have to pronounce with me. Mute yourself because this is being recorded. sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ. Tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. Okay? All right, now let's go and get started. Who goes first? Meera Mataji, go for it.
Athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Okay, that everything was good except for this PY, right? PY, it is not piya, it's just pya. So try that, pya.
Pya.
Yeah, that's you go. There you go. Very good. Sadhana Mataji.
athaitad apya aśakto shi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Right? Now this over here, aśakto, and see these are tongue twisters because there's a sha over here and this is just a sa. Right? So when you're pronouncing, you might want to wait a little bit here till the tongue settle down a bit and then pronounce that because it's a tongue twister. Okay, otherwise very good. Vaishana Mataji, go for it.
Yes, Mataji. Athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Right. Good. Except for here in this ma, the emphasis won't be that much, right? Because it's inside inside the verse. But you will get it when you start going in a full speed when you go the whole words. But remember, this is inside. Okay, Aruni.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sonia.
Athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Okay. Now let's go back to Meera Mataji and speed up a little bit, right?
Athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sadhana Mataji.
athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
All right. Good.
Athaitad apya aśakto si kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Yeah. So here over this word, you're having a little bit of a difficulty. So it is not tataḥ. It is tataḥ. Right? Tataḥ. Tataḥ. Tataḥ, tata, not tha,
tataḥ.
taha. Yes, you got it now this time. Okay, yeah. Go, Anani. Faster.
Athaitad api
Apya, apya, apya.
sorry. Athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Okay, Sonia.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Yatātmavān. Okay, good.
Yatātmavān.
Yes, you got it. Meera, faster this time.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Yatat.
Yatātmavān.
Van.
Van.
Right? You see, look at those. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then, Sadhnavati.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Yes. Okay. Vachana.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yata-ātma-vān.
Yatātmavān. Yatātmavān.
Yatātma-vān.
Who's next?
Athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sonia.
athaitad apya aśaktosi
Aśakto.
aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Okay. Meera Mataji, back to you.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sadhnavati.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
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 Athaitadapya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam-aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. Athaitadapya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam-aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. Okay, Varshana Mataji.
athaitad apya aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yata-ātma-vān.
You are breaking it at yat, and that is why you always pause, right? When you are doing the last word here, right? But it is all combined into one, right? Yatātmavān. Yeah, that's why that's how the syllables are broken. And,
okay.
Yes, and then it will flow with the tune also nicely, that you are using the tune, then you'll never stumble here. Okay, good. Aruni Mataji.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sonia.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. Yatātmavān. Yatātmavān.
Yeah, you can look at this, yatātmavān.
Yeah, yatātmavān.
All right. Okay, let's go back. Meera.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sadhana.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
There, you notice the difference this time, right? You didn't
Yes,
have to stumble. Yeah, okay, good.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very good. Sonia.
athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Very nice. So I just wanted you to, when you're practicing it later, and I would highly recommend that, just don't stop it when you are at the end of the class. After that, sometimes during the day, take 5 minutes off, and you see that it takes hardly 10 seconds to recite the words, the full words, right? So just take 5 minutes off, look at these words first like this, and I have posted it on our WhatsApp group, and have your recitation plan, that how are you going to recite it, right? So look at this is a A, and this is a A also, but there's a difference between these two A's, right? This has a bar, this doesn't have a bar. So accordingly, I'm going to put more pressure on this one and less pressure on this one, right? It's a hard, like that. So look at everything, look at the rules that we talked about today, right? And then, based on that, you come up with your recitation plan, okay? So for the next 1 minute, what we'll do is, all of you recite it together, okay? So I'll say 1, 2, 3, and on the count of 3, then you can start reciting, and let's see how that sounds, okay? 1 and 2 and 3.
aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Okay, so when you recite together, how did it sound?
Sounds harder.
Yeah, it sounded harder. It was so one of the things that we have to remember, and this I'm emphasizing because we all go to the temple and we recite prayers together. So when we are reciting separately, it's one thing, but when we are reciting in a group, what we have to do is we also have to listen to what others are saying, not just what we are saying, right? And this time it was a little bit early for me to start this exercise on you because you are not familiar with the verse itself. You're just learning it today. But nevertheless, make that as a good practice. And so you hear what others are saying and adjust your tune accordingly. Just adjust your, not tune, sorry, adjust your pace accordingly, your speed accordingly, right? If you see somebody is going a little bit slow, then you slow down. And of course, if the slow person hears that others are going fast, then they will become fast. And after a line of the verse, then you all will, kind of settle down on one, okay? But very good job today. I can see the progress over the past few months that we have been reading it. But keep that in mind. I'll post a new picture of this because I did not have the this part, the differentiation between the see, say, and the sigh. Okay. And now I'm getting late for my next class. I'll have to really run away from here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So very good work. Keep up the good work, and we'll meet again. Most likely Monday I might not be able to do the class because I have stuff that comes up, might just happen for a few more weeks, and then we'll start having the Monday class also, but definitely Tuesday I do plan.